Good evening, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to Sports Extra. I'm your host, Ahmad Nawaz. Tonight's show is once again going to give you an insight to a sport that has been very dear to me and to a lot of people who are bringing this up as well. But we're going to talk about that. But before that, we do know that the federal capital, Islamabad, its adjoining areas and the whole country was jolted with a 5.8 magnitude earthquake. Apparently, there's been loss of infrastructure. There's been a lot of injuries, and of course, the death toll is there with a couple of people as well. God knows what's going to happen in the time to come, but certainly our condolences to those who have lost their lives, and for those injured, we pray for their speedy recovery as well. The most damage has occurred in the region of Azad Jammu and Kashmir, and our prayers go out to all of those who are involved in obviously the tragedy that is there as well. Now, to talk about tonight's show, we're going to be discussing Australian football once again. Footy that it is in Pakistan, it's gaining roots very, very quickly. If you talk about it, it's spreading to all parts. It's been in through Gujranwala, it's been through Multan, it's in Karachi, it's in Lahore, it's being played in Islamabad. These are images from the sports complex in Islamabad, in the federal capital, and you can see that a lot of girls showed up for this as well. So you've got a great women's side as well, as you have the younger lot and the men's team in the making as well. So there is a lot to talk about for this sport as well. I talked about it being very dear to my heart. I was involved in one of those persons who started this game in Pakistan. I have also got the honor of calling the home ground to the place which has been the first footy ground in Pakistan. That is, of course, the Junoon Sports Club, which features cricket, footy, football, and all kinds of other sports as well. And you see the gentleman throwing himself around in that traditional yellow color is none other than the gentleman right next to me. He's a coach for the AFL. He's been working with the Shaheens in Australia, with the women's team as well. He's a great gentleman. He is a great human being and a lot of positive energy around him as well. He's none other than Mr. Michael Gallus. Mike, hello mate. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
G'day and shaba shaba. I sit here with a heavy heart today, as you've just mentioned, and go through the grace of God, we could have been involved in that. We were due to go to Kashmir today, and again, thanks to the inspiring AFL IC17 Pakistan women's team, who we were offered an opportunity to meet with today, and we took that opportunity. We could have been involved in that, and my condolences go out to the families, and our hearts break for those who have passed away, because we know how hard it is, and we wish speedy recovery to all the injured. And once again, it's through the extraordinary women of Pakistan, AFL, that we sit here today. And a big shout out to those ladies, Asmara, Asma, help me out here, Salia, and those fantastic women. And a big thank you, Karishma. A big thank you, ladies, for once again enabling us.
And fine footy players, all of them, as well.
Yeah, most importantly, and fine human beings. They're extraordinary. And this is untapped talent in the nation of Pakistan from what I've seen over the last 8 days. And this will be the change in Pakistan, is the ability for them to be thrown their shackles thrown off. Let them flourish. They are the future of this country, and they are so strong. I've seen them on the footy field. I'm glad they're not tackling me.
They're not tackling you. He's glad for that as well. Sitting next to Michael is a gentleman without whom all of this wouldn't have been possible. Him and his organization has been working tirelessly for promotion of sports and community level things in Australia as well. They are bridging that Pakistani community together. Their organization is called the Pakistan Shaheens. They're based in Australia, but they're helping a lot in developing footy in Pakistan as well, alongside other things which are also on the cards. He's the director of the operations. He's none other than Mr. Syed. Ariz, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam, Ahmad. Thank you for having me here. Alhamdulillah, all good. As Michael have mentioned, thought and prayers are for the people who are suffering in Azad Jammu and Kashmir. We hope the people got injured have a speedy recovery.
Right.
And people who have lost their life, our thoughts and prayers for them.
Definitely, it is there as well, God's will. But let's talk about you, Mike. I want to tell the people. Growing up, was footy the natural game that you started playing? How did your career come in towards footy?
Yeah, good question as usual. This man is the best journalist, TV journalist, sports journalist, everyone out there in the world, and in Pakistan, and I think over the whole world. So if you want a good man, come and see this man. I was actually born in Fiji. A lot of people don't know that in Pakistan. My parents, Lois and Jeff, big shout out to them, coming home soon to see you. We're teaching English in Fiji, so I spent my first 2 years there and then came to Australia and yeah, just a love of football. We played football in Australia, in Melbourne in winter, and you played cricket and basketball in summer. And the joy that I gained playing with my brothers in the street, playing with my friends at school, and playing with my colleagues or teammates at Diggers Rest under 16s. A big shout out to them, where I started my career and finished it with the Riddle Bombers and Pegs FC. And you know, sport's about relationships. Sport's about having fun. Muzzy Karoo, Muzzy Karoo. If you're not having Muzzy Karoo, don't do it. Don't do it. You've got to enjoy yourself, because life's too short, as we have just discussed. And inshallah that we all live long lives, but we have no control over that. So really, I urge you, if you're not enjoying your sport, well, find a different sport. The great thing I've found about Pakistan, everyone plays every sport.
Yeah.
Every sport, all the time. Every time I ask someone what sport they play, every sport. And I think, hang on, maybe I was lost in translation. But no, they love sport here. They have a passion for it, exactly the same as Australia. And that's what really excites me about what I've seen around your amazing country. And those people watching the vision up there, it looks like I have eaten a football. That's how well the food is, and how extraordinary it is, and how well the hospitality is.
But you can always burn it out when you go back to Australia.
Well,
right?
my wife has already told me I'm not allowed in the house, because I was not looking like this when I left.
Definitely. Ariz, he talked about the fact that the love of sports in Pakistan is great. Something similar to that in Australia as well, if not more or less. But definitely the love of sports requires a good infrastructure and a good platform. That's been there for so many other sports, but footy relatively new, and that's what you guys are doing, and that is, of course, laying down a foundation for that infrastructure.
Very true. And Michael sitting here with us talking about all the good things about Pakistan, it's not just happened overnight. It's thanks to AFL Pakistan, especially under the leadership of Sardar Tariq Saab, who's been phenomenal throughout in the last 2 years. We've been engaged into many conversations, me coming over last year, sitting here talking about how we want to see the game. And it's really amazing. So it's not just Sardar Tariq Saab himself, his whole team, Chaudhry Zulfikar Saab, Jamil Saab back in Multan.
Multan, hey.
Yeah. There you go. And then, yeah, we're other people who have put down this beautiful game together here for us. So kudos to them.
If we talk about the game and the skill involved, Mike, because you're a certified level 2 coach as well, it's relatively easy for the guys to actually play this if they've been involved in any physical activity. But when you come to the technical part of it, it's a lot to understand, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the hardest game. It's the greatest game in the world, but the most difficult, because you're combining elements of basketball, rugby, kabaddi. Still yet to see a game. So someone out there, please, host me to a game of kabaddi. Volleyball, basketball, hockey. You combine all the skills in all those sports, and then your endurance. You've got to play for 25 to 30 minutes without a break, 4 times over on a cricket field. Everyone looks at no pads. It's not NFL, it's Aussie rules, and it's crazy. But that's what everyone loves. Everywhere we've been, isn't it right?
It's beautiful.
Dr. Ariz, Syed, Ariz, that everywhere we've been, there is a love for the game. We worked with an amazing lady, Maniba Manzari, with Street Kids. A couple of days ago, I sat and had a meal with them. One of the highlights of the trip so far, and just to discuss it, we pulled out the footy. They knew what it was. Footy. Most people across Pakistan, fair enough, have no idea what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Who is this crazy Aussie? What is he doing? They knew, and it's opportunities. Sport gives those kids. We've been discussing with lots of different people about AFL Pakistan with the future of this game, and how we have opportunities to give those kids scholarships, sporting scholarships, and give them opportunities to really improve the situation in their lives. And sport does that. It's been proved around the world, and the passion and the athleticism and the strength, particularly in the women that I've seen, is just extraordinary in this country. And we have an amazing opportunity here. If the country can get behind AFL Pakistan, get behind the Shaheens, and really, really support them, I have no doubt this will be the greatest AFL country in the world in a very, very short time.
Very short time.
Especially for the women.
Inshallah to that as well.
Inshallah.
Ariz, you were here last year as well. You've been in contact, obviously, with the whole organisation. Since last year up till now, I know still a long, long way to go. How do you rate the progress up till now?
Well, if we talk about our journey from last year till this year, it's been really amazing, and the way AFL Pakistan has improved. I remember, again, sitting back on your show talking about let's build up this infrastructure. This time around, we have one of our certified coach with us, and we were actually running across the country, starting from Rahim Yar Khan, going to a small part named Liaqatpur, I've heard that name for the very first time. And 30, 40 kids rocking up on the footy ground, wanted to learn about the game. Then going to Multan, I think one of the best footy organized event I've ever seen. Jamil, need to mention his name. Jamil Saab did an amazing job over there. A journey did not finish here. He set up the bar right here. Then moving forward, going to Lahore, where Rai Sahab did an amazing job. We had like around few rugby players, around 30 to 40 girls again, rocking up for the footy. A few of the boys, they saw them training. They were like, we want to have a kick as well. We had a chat with them. Then going to the city of wrestlers, Gujranwala, where Farid Saab and Atullah Saab did an amazing job. We were treated like celebrities over there. There was pedals all around, like 200 girls showing up, sitting on the ground, wanting to learn about the game. Then coming to this beautiful city, Islamabad, again at the main hub of the sports, having a training session. So I don't think there is any other game where you can see like 400 or 500 people wanting to learn a new game. The eagerness is really amazing. And most importantly, the infrastructure, that's what we have been talking about. And most importantly, the coaches, the umpires, their willingness to learn about the game. It's pretty amazing. And in the next 1 year, hopefully I hope to see it progressing further up.
Definitely. When you talk about the infrastructure, Mike, then we know that it's not just the players that you've got to train. You've got to set a bar high for the coaches and especially the umpires or the referees involved in this as well. And that is another great opportunity for people who don't think they can play, but they can be involved as officials.
Yeah, great question again. That's why you are the greatest sports journalist in Pakistan. I'm going to poach him. You're coming to Australia. The grand final Saturday.
Definitely.
What are you doing? The Tigers and the GWS join in. You're exactly right. And the coaches that are out there, and a big hello to them all, you're extraordinary people. Thank you for your passion over the next 2 years. We're coming to support you. We're coming to give you the technical advice. I was able to teach one skill properly over this extraordinary journey, and that's handball. So every coach now knows how, and we've got 2 women coaches already. 2 women coaches, Ariz and also Gemina, who've put their hands up already to coach. And we've got unbelievable Zebi. We've got extraordinary coaches out there doing things, and now they've been given that technical advice, and you're dead right. Because if you are training without technical expertise, you're just wasting your time. So,
and it's got to spread, like you mentioned Imran there as well, who's also involved in the coaching structure, for example, because he's been to Australia, he's seen how it happens. So these guys can actually spread this even further.
And that's what I've been doing. I haven't been doing the coaching. I've been supervising them to do the coaching. This is not about Australians coming in and taking jobs and coaching opportunities. I can't wait, hopefully, only in a year or 2, to hand over the reins of the Pakistan National AFL women's team to Ariz and Gemina straight away. They're ready to go in 2 years with technical help. And we're getting that support. We have people back in Australia, good people that want to grow the game. They're not out for celebrity status. They're not out to improve themselves. They love the game of footy like I do and like Mr. Ariz does. And they're coming. And umpires, we need umpires, and you're exactly right. AFL is such a fantastic game because you don't just have to play it. We need coaches. You can be an umpire, you can be the water boy, you can be the goal umpire, you can throw the ball in, you can be part of it in another way if you don't want to play. And that's what makes it such a unique and extraordinary game. Right,
definitely. You are the bridge between AFL Australia and Pakistan as well. Now, let's talk about Shaheen's first. A doctor by profession, that you are. Not many people maybe don't know that.
And very intelligent.
That too. I see the specs and everything. But then choosing an organization for community development, it's a great initiative because we've got so many overseas Pakistanis involved in their daily lives, but they need to come together. And that's what Shaheen's is exactly doing.
Yeah. The basic concept of Shaheen's is basically interacting with the local community and building the bridge between the immigrants. And in order to understand that, you need to learn that what connects the people. And sports is one medium which has no language. We've been talking about it. We have the example which Michael gave, that we were running a food program with Muniba. We just took the cricket bat out, footy ball out, and there you go. Everyone was connected. Similarly, we were honored that we had the opportunity to spend some time with acid burn victims, thanks to Musarat Misbah, to giving us the opportunity. Again, it was really difficult to connect with them because they don't speak the language which Michael speaks. But again, sports is the one which brought smile to our face, brought smile to their face. So it's a small way from our end to giving back to the community. And as long as people will understand that sports is the medium to way forward, it connects people, it builds bridges, and it just not finishes with footy, there's a lot more that this thing has to offer, and that's what Shaheen stands for.
Definitely. Mike, if we talk about footy now, it's not been, the good thing is it's not been restricted to Australia. It's now come in Pakistan, of course, but in Asia, it's really spreading. Even in Europe, we know that there's an Italian team there as well. So it's actually spreading to all parts of the world.
It is an Irish island, actually. Ireland is the biggest country, and I was involved in a talent identification week 2 years ago with elite athletes, women from all over the world. So we had national netballers from the USA, from England. We had basketballers from Fiji, and we ran them through. None of them ever played AFL before. From that camp, 2 Irish girls got selected into AFLW. In the AFL now, we have a professional league for women, and it's growing every single day. It's the highest growing sport in Australia at the moment, female AFL football. And you're right, and it's spreading around the world. And I've coached males, junior level and senior level for the last 20 years. They are nowhere as tough as the females I've coached over the last 3 or 4 years at a community level. The Pegs FC girls and the East Keeler Football Club girls back in Melbourne, absolutely extraordinary tough, and they love it. It's the only sport you can physically jump on someone, tackle them, throw them to the ground, and have a lot of fun doing it. And again, that's that uniqueness that is spreading like wildfire across the world. And Pakistan, get on board because you're going to miss out. And as we've said, the talent in the women, we talk about Gujrawala. I've been around the world, around Australia, doing this, and I've never seen such amazing talent in one particular area. The City of Wrestlers, very proudly told me they won the Commonwealth Gold Medal from there very recently, and I can see why. And it's because of a lady, what is the lady's name?
Aisha.
Aisha, yep, last name, who has been a sports administrator. I walked into that ground in Australia. I looked up to the grandstand. There were 200 young girls from the college watching their friends. There was 5 or 10 in that 50 group. That does not happen in Australia, and I'm sure it doesn't, and it rarely happens in Pakistan. So you can see the power of sport in breaking down barriers, giving opportunities, and allowing the women, the strong women, the determined women of Pakistan to get out there, have a voice, and let's build this country up and return it to the greatness it once was, and get tourists coming. I've got a national interview at the MCG before the grand final when I get off the plane, if I'm still alive, because I haven't had much sleep. And I'll be saying, backpackers, come to this great country.
And you're known as Aussistani as well, I guess. So you can definitely say that. But Ariz, it's a great time for sports to flourish. We've got a Prime Minister who's been the most successful sportsman in the history of Pakistan, the great Honourable Imran Khan, 92 World Cup in Australia, winning a lot of hearts, bringing it back, involved in so much of charitable work as well. Now, so it's a great time for the sports culture to change in Pakistan, because it's not the game that's being played. It brings discipline, it changes lives. So a lot to be done through sports.
Absolutely. As I said, sports is the only way forward. It connects people. If you look at people like Michael, who've never been to Pakistan, it's the first time, it's the sport which has brought him over here. And I'm pretty sure there'll be many people who'll be super keen to come and visit Pakistan. Similarly, talking about the Prime Minister, who's a sports person himself, I've heard that he's really fond of footy as well. So we're looking for the opportunity when we'll be in Pakistan next time. We'll probably hand over a footy or have a kick with him as well. But again, getting back to the same thing, it's not just playing the game in the field, it's off the field as well. It connects people. We talk about diplomacy through the sports. We've seen that in the past. That has worked between countries. And that's an absolute opportunity to explore.
Definitely. But how do you think, how much important is competitive footy? Because I know they'll be having training sessions. They'll be on their own as well, teams as well. But once they get involved in a game of footy, these either 2 divided teams from each club, that actually helps even further.
Yeah, you got to play the game. It's the same in any sport. The only way you learn is by playing the game. And that's, again, coming down to technical advice and technical expertise from Australia, because, the poor, I feel sorry. We had 3 of the most courageous umpires in Multan during the national tournament because they were finding it difficult to understand the rules. Most of the players didn't have a good concept and grasp of the rules. In Australia, most of them don't either, so don't worry. It's not just in Pakistan. And to run a game, you need umpires and you need technical trained umpires. And we've been having those discussions with AFL Pakistan. It's just as important to develop umpires, just as important to develop coaches, just as important to develop the skills, because unless you're playing the game, you are not improving at the rapid rate you need to do. And that's coming. That is coming. We're planning on it, and you're exactly right. That's why you are the greatest sports journalist in Pakistan, because of those questions. And yeah, you only learn by playing. And when you play, you have Muzzy Karoo, the joy on KPK when they won the national championship. I have never seen such unbridled passion in sport across the world, and that's what Pakistan has, and that's what it's got to give the rest of the world as well. So come to Pakistan, come and have a look. You won't be disappointed.
Yeah, come and have a look as well. We've got a lot to offer as well, obviously our tourism as well. I'm going to request the producers as well. I understand we have a footy ball out there as well, which we can just bring. I want that ball to come right now inside the studios. They'll bring it. I'll show it to you on camera. I'll try to handball it to Mike as well, see whether if I've got the skill. Just to give you an idea. This is just to give you an idea what a footy ball really looks like, how different it is, and a lot of technicalities, like we said, involved with it as well. What's the next phase, if I may ask you? You've got a lot of planning, but I think the most important thing is that going back to Australia, you're taking a lot of good news from here.
But first of all, the most important thing we're taking back is the hospitality.
You can see. You can see. I've eaten football.
Yeah, the love, the affection which people have shown, it's beyond our expectation, to be honest. We were treated like celebrity wherever we go. But coming to the key point, what we have seen is the importance of the game, the eagerness of the people to learn, and we want to take it further ahead, and one step at a time. We're going to go back. We're going to have a discussion amongst ourselves. We're going to see how the game will flourish, and if AFL Pakistan require, we'll have a lot more to offer. There'll be more technical people coming in. AFL Pakistan is planning to have a league for the women's as well. They're planning to have a nationwide league sometime next year as well. And we're more than happy to come over. We're more than happy to get Michael back here in Pakistan. We're more than happy
to get... Can't wait.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
So sky is the limit, and with proper support, with proper dedication, which I can see here at this stage, and the energy level, I'm pretty sure that time is not far, that we will be having qualified coaches from Pakistan sitting here talking about the game and bringing laurels to Pakistan.
Inshallah, definitely. And all that talk, and you want to see magic? Here it is.
Oh, here you go.
Yeah. So this is the footy ball that we've been talking about. Australian rules football looks a bit like a rugby, but I'll tell you something, because I've played it as well in Pakistan. Once it bounces, you're going to have a mad chase. It does not act like a typical football or a rugby ball at all. It just spins all over the place. It's going like this, and you really need a bit of a skill. And you can't hold on to this for more than 5 steps, if I'm not, for something, yards or something. Yeah, something like that. You've got to pass it on. So you've got to have a game with your obviously a bunch of guys or girls as well, and you've got to make sure that you pass this thing, and you've got some strong power in those legs to kick it to those posts as well. Either get obviously it through the center, or just get a little bit of points through the other 2 goals as well at the same time. But definitely, like I said, this is what it is. If you want to know more about it, you can get in touch with AFL Pakistan. You can actually get this ball from there as well and try to practice on your own. And obviously, it's going to be available in Pakistan at the same time as well. I'm going to handball this to Mike and see whether I might just qualify, right?
Here we go. Shabba.
So Mike, the guys out there who just want to know the basic technique of handball, what would you like to tell them?
Very easy. Been doing it around the country for the last 8 days. Platform hand, paw on the hand, thumb inside your fist.
Yeah.
Start with a straight arm, you bring it through and bend it, and then you hit the ball without moving your platform hand and catching the fist. And everyone out there that I've been seeing and been coaching, if I don't see that when I return, I'm going to be Muzzy Karoo. That's the wrong one, isn't it? No, yes, no, Muzzy Karoo. Here we go. Let's see if I can do it. So you rate me. Let's see. You know your AFL.
Yeah.
Can I handball properly?
And I can
there you go. Got a good mark.
So it's easy as that. Fist in, you got to hold it in a stationary position and give it to you.
And you've got to catch your hand. The hardest thing, sir, the hardest thing I've found around Pakistan is to catch the hand at the end, because that decides whether or not where you go with your accuracy. Let's see, third time lucky. Look
Yeah,
at
yeah.
that. Shabbat.
Traveled even further as well. So
It does, yes.
Please.
And you need some zorzai.
Yeah.
Plenty of zorzais coming from these strong Pakistani women. So, I'm glad I'm not marrying them.
thanks a lot, Mike. Right. Ariz, like I said, there's got to be a lot of familiarity with that equipment as well.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing now that, all of these clubs or who are trying to participate in are getting their hands on the footy ball just to understand the dynamics of it, because it's absolutely different from what you've seen around here.
Very true. And I think there's another opportunity for the people who produce sports goods, that this sports is new to Pakistan. And again, there's an avenue. We've been producing amazing soccer balls which have been used for international level. So why not footy balls? And again, getting back to the same level, it's not just playing the game on the field. There's a lot that this game has to offer off the field. And that's an opportunity that is there. And AFL Pakistan is the way forward.
Definitely. You talked about the hospitality. Now I'm tempted to ask you, what have you been eating? What delicacy did you get your hands on? And what did you like the most?
Oh, well, what haven't I been eating? That is
Yeah.
the question. What haven't I been eating? It's just been extraordinary. Extraordinary. I've put on 5 kilos in 4 days. And Pakora has been magnificent.
Yeah.
Basically, Pakistani omelettes. I've been in, 8 cities? 8
yeah.
cities, 10 cities in 4 days. I have not eaten the same food twice. And as the Pakistan people know, each region has its own particular delicacies, and every single thing that I've eaten is just extraordinary. And the best thing, and this will make people of Pakistan, for the Pakistani tea. I was asked by a journalist in Australia, do they have coffee over there? And I said, they have Pakistani tea like hot chocolate. And he said, the coffee's like hot chocolate. And that means if there's no coffee in Pakistan, Australians won't come. So Australians, there's plenty of coffee as Pakistani tea, and that is beautiful.
Well,
All
actually,
the food.
we've got some great coffee shops here in Pakistan as well. Tremendous coffee. Our office makes one of the best
There
coffees
you
if
go.
you want it as well. So if Australians want coffee, you can come to PTV World. I'll give you a great coffee. That's on me, definitely.
Look out, we will be coming.
Yeah, so that's why I say it's more important that Wasim was here before him. Now it's him. So they're
I
taking.
can't imagine, I'm very lucky there's any food left after
Yeah.
Wasim left.
Wasim left. Yeah, he really loved Pakistani food. He was good on spices as well.
Yes,
so,
right.
so you're taking back the culture as well. That's great.
We're taking back the culture, as I said, we're taking the love, we're taking the hospitality, and there's a lot that will be coming from our end once we'll go there. There are a lot of things which Michael has been working on and planning to work on, and you'll be hearing soon a lot of good coming. And again, I can easily say he's an ambassador for Pakistan in Australia.
Definitely.
We have already,
Aussiestani.
he's already in Aussiestani.
Aussiestani.
We've been talking about Pakistan. We're
Right,
passionately talking
Mike,
about
you've
Pakistan.
got a lot of fans already in Pakistan, me being one of them. Is there any message at the end you'd like to give out to those younger people who are going to be involved in this sport?
Well, just Muzzy Karoo. Go out there and enjoy yourself. And when you see a Western tourist out there, roll out the welcome mat as you have done for me. I was told by, we had a meeting with the Deputy High, I shouldn't say, we had a meeting at the High Commission, the Australian High Commission, because I'm not going to name names. And I was advised not to come, and it was the greatest decision of my life to come and be here for the last 10 days.
And you're
what I've
taking
seen.
back the message that
Simply
it's
extraordinary. And
safe.
I'm taking back the message that the Australian government said those crazy backpackers, they'll come and do whatever they like. And come to Islamabad, and Islamabad is the gateway to the Himalayas. Australians love snow. They love climbing. They love the outdoors. So come to Islamabad, head north, Honza, Gilgit, extraordinary area. It's the only place I didn't get to. So in February, we're returning, and thanks to Dr. Sardar Tariq, President Sardar Tariq, and his work and sponsorship behind the scenes of women in sport and also building up this nation is simply extraordinary. And one day, and I said this out at the National Sporting Stadium, he'll be known across Pakistan as Nelson Mandela is known across South Africa. Due to his unbelievable heart, I was lucky enough to stay at his house, and again, that's why I'm so big, the hospitality and the love.
He's got a great cook as well, I know.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah, his cook is great as well. But definitely, he likes to stay behind the scenes,
He does.
but he does a lot as well.
great
Ariz
man, a
and
great
Michael, thank you very much for being with us on the show. It's been a pleasure having you. Unfortunately, we're short on time, but we're definitely going to go out with Michael, staring at that camera and saying Pakistan Zindabad.
Hey,
1, 2, 3, Pakistan, Zindabad, and Shaba Shaba.
Shaba Shaba. Right,
Shaba,
Mike
Shaba.
and Ariz, thank you very much. It's been great having you.
Thank you for
Right,
hosting
we're going to
us,
leave it
Ahmad.
at that. That's all we have time for this edition of Sports Extra. this is what it is. The footy ball, if you want to get your hands on it, get in touch with AFL Pakistan. It's there for you. It's there for everybody else as well. We're going to leave it at that from me, the entire team. It's goodbye for now.